All right, continuing from the book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 23. Waya Amara Masha Allah Yahweh Allah Yakal Ha'aima La'ai Latha Allah Hara Saranaya Kal Atha Ha'aidha Thaha Tha'ai Datha Banawa La'aimara Hagabala Atha Ha Hara Wakwada Shataiwa Waya Amara Alawaya Yahweh Laka Kwada Wa Ailayatha Athaha Wa Aha Rana Aimaka Wahaka Hanayam Waya Ayama Allah Yahara Sawa La'ailatha Allah Yahweh Pana Yapara Tazabama Wayarada Masha Allah Ha'aima Waya Amara Alaham. You tell me 7.
Yeah,
so like, yeah.
That is true. So 4:20 and 4.
All right. Wayada Bara Alahayam Atha Kala is Kala or Kal. So Haraba, Rayam, Allah, Lamara, Lama, Anayak, Amayak, Yahweh, Alahayak, Awara, verse 4, verse 5.
No, stop at verse 4.
That was verse.
I'm going to verse 4.
Okay, verse 2. Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. Anakaya, Yahweh, Alayaka, Awara, Yawataza, Atha, Yaka, Mararataza, Mataza, Rayam, Babayatha, Ibadayam, Allah, verse 3. La'a, Yahweh, Lakal, Alahayam, Apara, Yam, Ayla, Panaya, verse 4. La'a, Tha'aisha, Lakal, Pasala, Wakal, Tamawain, Tapsalakia, Tamawana Ha, Ashara, Basamayam, Ma'aila, Wa Ashara, Ba'arataza, Matha, Katha, Wa Ashara, Bamayam, Mathakatha, La'arataza, verse 5. La'a, Tasha, Takawaha, Tawa, Tawana.
Is it the end of this one?
No, that was this on 5 like Salakia.
No, stop on 4.
Stopping on 4?
Yeah.
All right. Stopping on 4. Just now, let's read back.
Stop on you read 4 already? Stop on the end of it.
Okay. Limit la 4. Basha Mayam Ma'aila Wa Asha Ba'aratza, Mathakatha, Wa'asha, Bamayam, Matha Kathal, Aratza. By the end of 19 and 23. The book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 23. And Moses said unto the Most High, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou charge us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And the Most High said unto him, away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Most High, lest he break forth unto them. Verse 25. And Moses went down unto the people and spoke unto them. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, for thou shalt make unto me, Salakia, for thou shalt not make unto me any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
We see here once again where the Most High giving instruction again to Moses back into 19. There was clear instructions when Moses brought the people to the Most High on Mount Sinai for them not to go a particular distance close to the mount, because of the presence of the Most High. Otherwise, every dog and cat would die, as we would say down here, in our local terms. In that it was a very serious and a very dangerous thing to come into the presence of the Most High, as you see through the scriptures. Even when the temple was built, only the high priest could have gone into the Holy of Holies at that point in time. And as we go later down in the scripture, you will see all that in the scriptures. And when you go into 20, the Most High again giving more instructions to the children of Israel how they should operate. And to be more specific, verse 3, says, thou shalt have no other gods before me, which is the Most High. So don't let anything that you would see here, anywhere else in the land where you go to, become a god before the Most High. Right? And being very specific, said in verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness or anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Now, the reason why you had to make that so specific, because remember, we are coming out of Egypt, and every single thing under the sun, including the sun, the Egyptians used to worship. They had gods for everything. So us coming out of that state of mind, remember, we were part of that so-called system. So to help erase that outer system, he let us know straightforward that there should be no graven image, because idol worship was a key thing in the land of Egypt. And he was again being very specific. Just jump back to verse 2, to letting the children of Israel know that he was the reason. Say, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous to bondage and slavery. Just as even now, we like in the New Egypt here in so-called America, or the Americas, this whole system, right, is just as Egypt, because we're still under slavery, we're still under bondage under this system. Yep, I think that's it.
Right, so,
continue
from verse 5.
Yeah.
The book of Exodus chapter 20, continuing from verse 5. La'a, Thasha, Taka, Waha, Laham, Wala'a, Tha'aiba, Dam, Kaya, Ana, Anakam, Yahweh, Alahai, Yaka, Allah, Kwana, Pakwad, I1, Abatha, Aila, Banayam, Aila, Shalasha, Wam, Wa'aila, Rabba'i, Yam, Lashana, Ayah, verse 6. Wa'aisha, Kasada, La'a, Lapayam, La'a, Habaya, Walasha, Mayram, Marayam, no, Salakia, Maraya, Mataza, Wathaya, Allah, Thasha, Atha, Shema, Yaha, Yahweh, Alaha, Yak, Lashawa, Lashawa'a, Kaya, La'a, Yanakwaha, Yahweh, Atha, Asherah, Yasha, Atha, Shamawa, Lasha, Lashawa. Verse 10. Waya, Wayawam, Hasha, Waya Aiba, Shabbatha, Shabbat, wa, Allah, hayak, Allah, the Aisha, Kala, Mala'aka, Atha, Wamanak, Wabathaka, Aibadaka, Wa Amaithak. Wabarak, Ashaira, Basha'ai, Rayak. Verse 11, Kaya, Shashata, Yamayam, Aisha, Yahweh, Atha, Hasham, Hashamayam, Hashamayam, Shemaya, Wa Atha, Ha'irataza, Atha, Hayam, Wa Atha, Kala, Iwara, Bama, Wayanaka, Bayawam, Ashaba, Ya'aya, Ayla, Khan, Baraka, Yahweh, Atha, Yawam, Hashabatha, Wayakwa, Dasha, Hawa. That was the end of 11. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High power in vain, for the Most High will not hold them guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Verse 8, Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High Power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Verse 11, for in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is Salakia, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. The end of it.
No sign of Christ. Like I said,
Yeah.
no sign of Christ. We see here where the Most High again given Moses instructions and starting to lay down what we call the so-called 10 commandments to the children of Israel. These were more or less the basic blueprint, of the laws of the Most High that the children of Israel were to follow. By following these commandments, specific commandments, it will also help fulfill all the other laws that Moses gave to the children of Israel. Because within all these laws, you would have righteous living and righteous counsel to be able to function as a nation. So verse 5 says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. So it's talking about the images, right, of not making images, to serve as gods as they once did in Egypt. So this is what this really is speaking specific to. For I, the Lord, am a jealous God. So if people didn't feel that the Most High didn't have so-called feelings, and when we breaking all the Most High's laws, that doesn't mean that you just say, that is it, I forgive you and digest that. The Most High specifically said he is a jealous God, and he's also a man of war. Just as how we can be what? We can have mercy. You can repent of something that he did. So all these characteristics of the Most High makes the Most High a real and living power. That we shouldn't be playing and having, all this, I say Christianity that we have in mind, thinking that, I just go, he ain't gonna do nothing. And he wouldn't get angry, or he wouldn't get upset, or he wouldn't change his mind, or he just be, this peace and loving homosexual Caesar Borgia that we have hung up in your house. Our power is a jealous God, and when we do things outside the Most High, we will face the wrath of the Most High. Just as any parent, they tell their child, don't do this. If they continue to do it, what? The child will face the wrath of the parent. The parent will be what? Jealous. Because why? You're worshiping or doing things contrary to what they told you to do. Alright, so we have any answer?
Continuing on the book of Exodus chapter 20, continuing from verse 12. Kabad, Atha, Abayaka, Wa Atha, Amaka, La Aina, Ya Ara Kawan, Yamayaka, Aila, Ya Adam, Ya Ada, Maha, Awara, Yahweh, Alaha, Yaka, Nathana, Laka, verse 13, La'a, Tarat Zaka, La'a, Tana, Apa, La'a, Taganaba, La'a, Ta'ai, Na, Bara, Aika, Aida, Wapara, verse 14, Allah, Thai Kamada, Bayatha, Ra'aika, La'a, Takamada, Ashatha, Ra'aika, Ra'aiba, Dawa, Wa'ama, Shawa, Washawa, Rawa, Wakama, Rawa, Wakal, Asha, Lara Aika, verse 15, Wakal, Ha'aima, Ra'ayam, Atha, Akwawa, Latha, Wa'atha, Halapa, Yadam, Wa'atha, Qawala, Ashapara, Ashapa, Wa'atha, Hara, Aishana, Wayara'a, Ha'aima, Wayanai, Aina, Waya'aima, Dawa, Myrakakwa, 16, Waya'a, Myrawa, Allah, Maisha, Ibara, Aitha, Ibanawa, Wanasha, Ma'ai, Ha, Wa'ala, Wadabara, Ibanawa, Alaha, Yum, Alahayum, Mana, Namawatha, 17. Waya Am, Salakia. Waya A, Mara. Mawaha, Allah. Ya Aima, Allah. Tayara, Awa. Kaya, Labaai, Baiwara. Wasawatha, Athaka, Athakam. Ba'a, Ha'Allah, Hayam, Alahayam. Waba'ai, Bawara, Sahayaha, Yaba'a, Sawa, Aila, Panaya, Come, Labala, Saya, Sakatha, Abwa, Waya'ai, Mada, Ha'aima, right. Mara, Kakwa, Wamasha, Nagasha, Allah, Ha'ai Rapapala, Ashara, wa Asha, Shema, Ha'Allah, Hasham, Salakia, Ha'Allah, Hayam. That was in that 18. The book of Exodus, chapter 20. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
Okay, no sign Christ. It's like you say,
right? Yeah, and these are just some of the commandments that the Most High give to Israel. You understand? Honor your father and your mother. As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what we ought to do is the same way how our parents, took care of us when our parents reached that age. For old age, we have to honor them. We have to treat them the same way that they treat us. Take care of them the same way they took care of us. You understand? Thou shalt not kill. That don't mean that they can go and kill animal. We have the slaughter the lamb coming up. You understand? If you might be a farmer or doing rearing animals, you have to kill animals to eat. You have to kill birds, you have to kill goats, you have to kill sheep. You understand? But of course, some people don't understand that it is not on that context. It's an old English word for thou shalt not murder. You understand? We are not to murder our people. We are not to commit murder. Thou shalt not kill means thou shalt not murder. You understand? Thou shalt not commit adultery. That is not part of our culture as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Most side do not want us, you understand, to go after our brothers' wives. You understand? Thou shalt not steal. That's plain and simple. You understand? Don't be a false witness against your brother. You understand what I'm saying? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. The Most High don't want us to have that yearning desire for things that our brothers might have. You understand? You might see things that a brother have that you mightn't have. The Most High don't want you now to be covetous over that. They say don't covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife. You understand? Man servant, maid servant, ox, ass. Because you could go and get the same thing too. You understand? Don't have that desire for what he have. Right? The same thing on the other side. Yeah.
Just on verse 18, talking about all what the people saw at that time, at Mount Sinai, and really looking at the fear, the emotion that came upon the people when they saw the chariots, like I say, the thundering and the lightning and everything that was on the mount at that time. That was something that was very terrible. You understand, for the people to look at. And so much so that the scriptures say that all the people saw the thunderings and lightning and the noise of the trumpet and the mountains smoking. And understand, for to see a whole mountain smoking, I mean, that would be something that huge. You understand? And when you look at the idea of a whole mountain smoking, that is not a normal sight to see, especially probably in those times. So that probably was a real experience. And they say, and when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar. I mean, the scriptures probably make it sound nice. They remove yourself. I'd be running like that. You understand? So more than likely, because of the immense power of the Most High, the glory of the Most High that was in that place, wasn't something nice and peachy like how the Christian church make it sound. To be in the presence of the Most High is a fearful thing when you're coming out on that kind of run. So just for us to be to understand that the Most High power is not something that is fairy tale. It's not Disney World. It's not Disney movies. It's not, what's the guy who Moses, Charles, the white devil?
Yeah, right.
Charles something. Why you name it? Yeah. It's not this nice fancy thing that they can. No. It's not cartoon. It's a real power that could kill you if you venture too close to the glory of the Most High. That's what I said. So that's it. So, like a restaurant. Yes. Imagine. Next, please.
Maikwa, Ban Banyanyam, Banya Shala.
Maikwa, Ban Banyamian, Banya Shala.
Yehova Shem Yoshua Katom.
Yahweh Shem Yoshua Kata.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 19. Waya Ama Yahweh Allah Kaha Ta'ama Al Banaya Yasha Yasharala Atham Ra'a Yatham Kaya Mana Hasha Mayam the Ba Rathaya Aimakam. Verse 20. La'a Ta'ai Wana Ataya Allah Alahaya Kasap Wa'a Lahaya Zahab La'a Ta'ai Shawa Lakam. Verse 21. Mazabaka Adama Ta'aisha Laya Wazabakat Aila Yawa Ata Aila Tayaka Wa'ata Shalama Yaka Ata Taza Anaka Wa'ata Bakwaraka Bakal Hamakwawam Asha Aiza Kaya Ata Shamaya Abawa Salakia Abawa Allah Yaka Yaba Raka Tayaka. Verse 22. Wa'am Ma Zabaka Abba Nayam Ta Aisha Laya, La'a, Taba, Naha, Ata, Hana, Gazayata, Kaya, Kara, Baka, Hanapa, Layaha, Wata, Kala, Laha. Verse 23. Wala'a. Salakia. Wala. Ta'ai laha. Ma'aila. Ma'ailata. Ail mazaba kaya. Asha la'a. Tagalaha. Aira wataka. Aila zawa. Aila yawa. Verse 1. Wa'a laha. Hama shapa tayam. Ashayam. Lapan yaham. Kaya takwana. Ibad. Iba raya. Shasha. Shanayam. Ibad. Wabashab aita. Yataza. Laka Pashaya. Kanama. Right? That is verse 2. 19. Verse 2. Up to 2, right?
Yeah.
So I'm reading this 2. Read this 2.
Yeah, read this.
Yeah. Kaya takwana Ibad Iba raya Shasha wanayam Ibad. I think I'll read this one in a minute. Waba Shabba Aita Yataza La'a Pashaya Kanaham. Right? The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 19. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die. Verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. Verse 21. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the Most High was. Verse 22. And the Most High said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Verse 23, ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. Verse 24, an altar of the earth thou shalt not make unto me, and thou shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen, in all places where I record my name. I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. Verse 25, if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Verse 26, neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be discovered thereon. The book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
So once more, you're seeing where Moses, the Most High through Moses, laying down the laws of the Most High, laying down everything that is needed to really help govern the nation of Israel, right? So that is the main thing that Moses is doing here right now, so that the nation of Israel will have a governing body, a governing system, so that they will be able to have that brotherhood amongst each other. Because everything that is being stated here or said by Moses is to increase and to help brotherhood. And General Hyman, said something that was, I think was real powerful. He said, brotherhood is not about how good you is. Brotherhood is the establishment of rules and laws to be followed among each other. That what really gets the brotherhood, keeps the brotherhood together. There are rules and laws, I say, about covetousness, and that will help that brotherhood and make it stronger. You understand? Then you can actually be a brother to that man, because why? You don't want what you have. You understand? Or if you will have a disagreement, there are rules in which you can solve those differences. So you can still be a brother to that brother. Right? So this is what Moses is establishing here. And as we go through the scriptures more, we'll be able to see and understand everything that is being done. And when you continue in 21, again it says from verse 1, said, these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Right? So judgments are, the rules and the laws that if something to take place, this is what you ought to do. Right? And verse 2 said, if thou buy a Hebrew servant, right, 6 years shall he serve. So in this case, this brother has become indebted to you for some reason. You understand? The Most High in his wisdom so much encompass brotherhood. He's telling you this man not supposed to work for you for the rest of your life. He says 6 years that man should work for you. On the 7th year, whatever burdens, whatever debt he have, that slate is still be wiped clean. He said, if thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve thee. In the 7th year, he shall go out free for nothing. You understand? So, and this is, I would say, way back. But even now, because of this whole, I would say, Babylon system, this white man, democracy and everything else, they will have you as a slave forever. You're paying loans until you're dead. And when you're dead, your children get the loan. They ain't saying, you die, and dies it. You understand? This system is so ridiculous that you have generational loans being burdens onto the nation of Israel. And not just down here, even, I know in America it's worse. You understand? Where you have like student loans and all other bank loans and other stuff that after a number of years, these things compound upon a generation that they cannot move, they're stagnant, they're lost. Because why? Their whole life is paying these bills that the oppressor put upon us. So I don't feel that I think.
Right. I just want to add another thing, continued we are saying, we are saying before, but the Most High you as so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, right? When Moses was up in the mountains and the people saw the thunderings and lightnings and all these things, and Moses say that Moses was saying unto the people that the Moses come to prove you that the fear may be before your face. When these people realize the power that the Moses have, you understand, the destructive power, the things that could happen to them, they now realize, nice, see this, Moses, you go and talk to them. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be die. Because they know the power of the Moses. Then the Moses come now and start laying down the laws that he wants. Don't do this, don't do that, whatever the case might be. You understand? And we as a people must understand, when we come into the knowledge and understanding of the Moses, we need to follow what the Moses laid down for us. You understand? Because of course, what is important to is for we to understand the power of the Most High. And when we understand the power of the Most High and the things that the Most High can do to us, we're going to directly follow him. We're going to be in the fear of the Most High. You understand? That's a little bit I want to add on that.
Yeah, Most High Christ. That's like this. Imagine.
Priest, Makakobal, Ban Banyaniam, Banya Shala,
Makakobal, Ban Banyamian, Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Bashim Yoshai Bakatum,
Yahweh Hashem Yoshai Bakata.
Yeah, you shall be.
All right, continuing reading at the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 3. Ama Baga power Yaba'a Baga power Yataza Ama Ba'ila Asha Hawa Wayataza Aha Taza Awathawa Aimawa Ama Ada Nayawa Yathana Lawa Asha Wayala Da Lawa Banayam Awa Banawa Tha Ha'asha Wayala Daya Thahaya La'ada Naya Waha Wa Waha Yataza Bagapawa, wa Ama, Amara, ya Amara, Ha'aibada, Ahaba, Thaya, Atha, Aranaya, Atha'a, Shatha, Ya, wa Atha, Banaya, La'a, Ataza'a, Kabawaya. Verse 6. Wahaga Yashawa, Adana Yawa, Allah, Ha'Allah, Hawayam. Wahagayi Yawashawa, Allah, Hadalatha, Ayah, Allah, Hamazah, Hamazah, wa I, no, Salakia, wa Azah, Wazah, wa Ratazah, I, Adana, Zawa, Atha, Azanawa, Bamaratazai, wa I Bada wa, La I Lum, wa I Lum. Verse 7. Wakaya, Yamakara, Ayasha, Aitha, Bathawa, La Amaiha, La'a, Thathaza'a, Kataza'a, Tha, Ha'aibada, Yum. Verse 8. Ama, Ra'a, Ra'aiha, Ba'ai, Yanaya. Adana, Ya, Ashara, La'a, Ya'ida, Wahapa, Daha, Yahapara, La'aima, Nakara, Ya, Allah, Yamashala, Lamakara, Bagadaya, Bagadawa, Baha. Verse 9. Wa Amma, labanawa, wa I dana, kamasha patha, habana watha, ya Aisha, laha. Verse 10. Ama, akaratha, yakwaka, lawa, sha'ara, kasawa, tha, wa I natha, no, wa I thana, la'a, wabarai. I think it was up to 10.
Yeah.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 3. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his heir, through which and all, and he shall serve him forever. Verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he had dealt deceitfully with her. Verse 9. And if he had betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
So you see again, this is all that's being done here and read out here by through Moses, is to bring order, and as to bring right and correct judgment among the brothers, which was these rules that were to conduct and to show how to keep what brotherhood. So a man working for you, you ain't gonna keep him as a slave all your side life. Like what? Brotherhood. A man against you, he came in as a servant, you take care of him, he get a wife, you give him a wife, he had children. They show you how that is to be dealt with now. So that it's not just only the person who has a man working for him, that he himself also will have some sort of, I would call it justice, but you know, some sort of compensation for all this money and time and effort that he put out. Because why? He not just serving, but he gave him what? A wife, he get more children. So there's a rule or rules governing all those things. in terms of how this man now should be able to what? Recompense for what he has put up. And if the man have a disagreement, you see, well, no, when I live and I want my wife and my home mature, no sweat. They say here what they bring them before what? The judge. So everything is not that I fighting you, you fighting me. There's what? There's rules and regulation. If something is too hard to be sorted out among each other, there's what? Counsel. Right. Counsel is paramount, especially I.S.U.P.K under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. We do nothing without counsel. You understand? Anything that is major that you can't really make a solid decision on, guess what? You see counsel of the men of the Lord. That you'll be able to what? Make the right decision when it comes to matters like these. Anything that will severely affect not just yourself, not just your family, but could affect what? The nation of Israel. Right? So those are the main things that, you know, these laws, statutes, and commandments that are laid down for us to live. Because if blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians understood these laws and kept these laws, 90% of the problems and issues that we have now today, we wouldn't have them. Even though we are living in captivity in our communities, things would have been better. You understand? We wouldn't have all this black and black crime. We wouldn't have all these broken homes. We wouldn't have the amount of poverty, you understand, and destitute, you know, of the young men and women on the streets. We wouldn't have that if we kept the laws and the commandments of the Most High. All right, so that's it. We'll continue. You say, imagine.
Maikwa, ban banyaniam, banya shala.
Maikwa, ban banyaniam, banya shala.
How about some of your Sabbath?
How about some of your Sabbath?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. Amma Akaratha Yakwaka Lawa Sha'ara Kasa Wata Wa Ai Nata La'a Yaga Ra'ai. Verse 11. Wa'ama Shalasha Allaha La'a Ya Aisha Laha Waya Taza Kanam Ayan Kasap Makaha Ayasha Wamata Mawat Yawamat. Verse 13. Wa'asha La'a Tazada Waha Allah Hayam Waha Allah Hayam Anna Laya Dawa Washa Mataya Laka Makwa Makwa Wam Asha Yana Wasa Shama, verse 14. Wakaya Yazada Ma Salakia Ayasha Ail Ra'ai Hawa Laha Ragawa Ba'ai Rama Ma'aima Maza Bakaya Takwa Kanawa Lamawat was 15. Wamaka Abba Yawa Wa'a Mawat Yawamat, verse 16. Maga Naba Ayasha Wama Karawa Wana Mataza Baya Dawa Mawat Yawamat. That's the end of verse 16. 17? No. 10.
Okay. Yeah.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. Verse 12. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall be surely put to death. Verse 13. If a man lie in wait, but the Most High deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. Verse 14. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he may die. Verse 15. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. Verse 16. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. That's the end of verse 16.
Right, so these are some of the laws that the Most High has Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we ought to follow. You understand? And of course, the Christian Church love to say that laws are the Most High done away with. If the laws of the Most High done away with, and that letting you know that if the Christian leaders saying the laws of the Most High done away with, of course, they're letting you know that they could do all these things. All these things that the Most High say for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians not to do. You understand? The Most High don't want you smiting your father or your mother. You understand? Of course, the scriptures we know reading, the officer not read, he that smited a man so that he should die, should surely be put to death. You understand? These are the things that we're not supposed to do as a people, as a nation. You understand? And of course, when you're reading these things and you understand that these are the laws of the Most High, these are the things that we have to follow, you will see the brotherhood in these scriptures for your nation, for your people, even your own family. You understand? So that is why we always say that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we ought to follow the laws of the Most High power. The word of Sayaka.
Yeah, so like also first two quick things as today. You know, it speak about if he smite a man like she die, he shall be put to death. You know, the Most High even, you know, make it even more plain. 13 said, and if a man lie not in wait, so you wasn't setting up, you want to kill him. You understand? That way is specific, lie not in wait. But God delivered him into his hand. Or they maybe had some altercation, it wasn't nothing, you didn't go with no intention to kill, or end up having a fight. And they say, but God delivered him into his hand. You know, you kill him for whatever the reason was. He said, then I will appoint thee a place whether ye shall flee. You know, and this is in reference to the places of refuge that the nation of Israel had set up. So you and, let's say you and a man in a field working on some job site, some altercation take place, you hit him up wood in the head because of all the fighting. Right? Or he attacked you or something, he died. Because it was not intentional and because of the revenge of blood that this man's family will want to have revenge, the Most I say, he will prepare a place for you to what? To flee to. And when you go to that place now, then, you know, the persons who are looking for revenge cannot come there to kill you until judgment is come.
Right.
So with that now, you know, you will have the leaders or the elders that come to that city, they will hear the matter, right? And then a judgment will be made. If you were wrong, then what? You would be put to death. But if you were right, or they realize in case you were not in the wrong, then the person who was seeking revenge cannot, you know, kill you. You understand? But and those are some of the laws and rules that were laid down, you know, to govern what again? Brotherhood. Everything that's laid down here is defining what? Brotherhood amongst the nation of Israel. Right? And verse 14 says, but if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor, so this man sit down here and he plan, he say, you see that man, when he passing through that trap, I will deal with him. You understand? You understand? Yeah, come here, you go with the ghost, as we will say down here. You take a ghost. You understand? You wait for him. And he say, to slay him with guile. And to slay him with guile, which means what? That means you have some sort of animosity. You have some sort of vengeance in him. You understand? With guile. Thou shalt take him from mine altar. So you know, see that one? The lane come close. You understand? Right. That he made that. He no longer belongs to what? The nation of Israel. He had to get destroyed. Because you don't want to set that trend. But all these judgments is to what? Prevent other people from doing that same thing. Adultery, I guess, don't do that. That's for the next man not to commit adultery. It's not because, okay, I really want to punish the man per se. He has to get punished. But this is an example so that no other man would commit adultery.
Right.
You understand? And verse 15 says, and he that smite his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. You know, this is something that is very serious. If you kill your mother or father, can't escape it. You're putting your one time, brace, take your lights. Son, and honoring your mother and father is something serious because a lot of people have in mind that, okay, my father treat me bad or my mother treat me bad. But that has nothing to do with the scriptures in the aspect of that is still your mother and your father. You're still supposed to what? Honor them. They come into the old age, they need to be taken care of. They might be out of the senses, out of the wits. You know, they may end up in probably being destitute. It's your duty to take care of them. And verse 16 it says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him. Like this talking about what? Slavery. This talking about you kidnapping somebody and sell them to what? The slave traders. Or any other kind of work. Or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So if you catch a man, you kidnap a man and you sell him as a slave to somebody else, and they find out, you're dead. If they catch you with the man in your hand, well, you're more dead. You understand? You understand? You're really going to get wet. And that's how serious the Most I was playing with what? Again, brotherhood. All this dealing with the way we relate with each other. These are rules that we need to follow to keep that brotherhood amongst the nation of Israel. so that what we have peace, and I can be able to what? So don't go down and have a drink, and not have anything in my mind, you know, against my brother. You understand? Whether I be now, whether I be later down. And these rules is to what? Pass on to our children. Because when they see these examples, guess what? You wouldn't always have to be, you know, quote unquote, reminding them, because when you teach them, and this is where the law come out in your inward part, in your spirit, so that you wouldn't have to, you know, I say watchman every minute. When somebody not there, they would what? Still keep the law. You understand? Nobody had to be have a big stick over them. And that's basically what I say on that. You got anything else? No. And whatever you say, Majum. This brings us to the end of the service. Yeah, and the
La Yasharala to Israel.
say Majum. Put it up and down. To the rise and face the east. Sir. We're going to see the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Manawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratiza, Kawa, Ayah, Shemaya, Datan, Nawa, Ka, Yawam, Masalak, Kawawat, Wala'a, Tabianawa, Abad, Oshina, Mayan, Right. Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, I will love you, Aman. What you just said in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, or deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to say the power. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Tananawa, Aka, Larapa, Kalmadawa, Aka, Zariah, Aka, Matayam, Irakuwa, Hashem, Yahushua, Wadaman. What you just said in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power, the power to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. He blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Rapanawa, Rashala, Sapari, Rapa, Magan, Hashem, Yahushua, Wadaman. What we just said in English. Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, he, she, protect, or love one. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. We say Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Aratiza, Ayatan, Namawa, Gaka, Shamaka.
Lamatwa,
Lamatwa,
Ragalka,
Ragalka,
Alianamam,
Alianamam,
Marka,
Marka,
Anna,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashak,
Yayashak,
Shawama,
Shawama,
Yashala,
Yashala,
Yahawa,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahawa,
Zalka,
Ayad,
Yamyanka,
Yamamam,
Ashama,
Ya'a,
Yakaka,
Wayara,
Bayala,
Yahawa,
Yashamarka,
Kara,
Yasama,
Atana, Yahawa, Yashama, Kazahaka, Abawaka, Ayata, Wai, Ireland.
What you just said in the English, Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eye.
I will lift up my eye
unto the hill.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Most
My
High.
help cometh from the Most
Which
High.
made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
To be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold.
he that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Most High is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Most High shall preserve thee.
The Most High shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Most High shall preserve thy going
The
out.
Most High shall preserve thy
And
going
thy
out
coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
You're going to say Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Aldamayalaka,
Aldamayalaka,
Altakara,
Altakara,
Altachakwa,
Altachakwa,
Alkayahanna,
Alkayana,
Ayabaka,
Ayabaka,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Ayamaka,
Ayamaka,
Arayawa,
Arayawa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Aita,
Aitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Aitazawanka, Maharwa,
Iowa,
Sawada,
Wayata, Salakia. Lakawa, Wanakana, Magawia,
Wala'a,
Yazaka,
Shamyashara,
Wada,
Iwada, Ya'a, Kaya,
Nawaitazawa,
Naitazawa, Yaba,
Yakaro,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Ariyat,
Yakaratwa,
Alahaya, Alawam,
Wayashamai Alayam,
Wa'ashamai Alam,
Mawa'aba,
Wa'aba,
Wagaram,
Gabad,
Wa'amayam,
Wa'amayam,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimawa,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'aimalak, Falashat,
Aimeshabia,
Aimeshabia,
Tazawo,
Tazawo,
Dakashawo,
Nanawa,
Aiman,
Ayman,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Labania, Lawak, Salah, Aisha,
Laham,
Kamadia,
Kasaya,
Sarah, Kayabian,
Banaka,
Yashwa, Nashamadwa, Bayan,
Ra,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Amada,
Yatamwa, Nadayabsha, Kairab, Asha,
Wakazaba,
Wakatazamanai,
Kana Sayakamwa,
Asha,
Amarwa, Yasha,
Nanawa, Ata, Awak, Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Galgala,
Kakwash,
Napanirawaka,
Kaash, Saba Ira, Wakalaba, Talahat, Arayam, Khan, Arapama, Masaraika, Abasa, Wapatka, Tabahana, Mala'a, Panyaham, Palawa, Wayaba, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahalwa, Ayat, Wayakapawa, Wayabarwa, Wayadaiwa, Ayata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labatka, Iowa, Alkaha, Aratiza.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silent.
Keep not thou silent.
O Most High.
O Most High.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Most High.
O Most High.
For lo,
lo,
thine enemy,
make
a tumult.
a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden one. They have said. Come,
Come.
and let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
And the name of Israel.
And the name of Israel.
May be no more remembered.
May be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate.
They are confederate
against thee.
against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarene.
And the Hagarene.
Gobal.
Gobal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
And the Philistines.
And the Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
I.S.U.P.K. is also joined with
It's
them.
also joined with
They
them.
have helped.
They have helped.
The children of Lot.
The children of Lot.
With them.
Also joined with
They
them.
have helped.
They have helped.
The children of Lot.
The children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung.
They became as dung
for the earth.
for the earth.
Make their noble.
Make their noble.
Like Oreb.
Like Oreb.
And like Zin.
And Zin.
Yea. All their princes.
All their princes.
As Sabbath.
As Sabbath.
And as Zalumna.
And as Zalumna.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of the Most High.
The houses of the Most High.
In possession.
In possession.
All my power.
All my power.
Make them like a wheat.
Make them like a wheat.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the
As
wind.
the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the
And as
wood.
the flame set to the mountain.
And as the flame set to the mountain.
On fire.
On fire.
So persecute
So
them.
persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy sword.
With thy sword.
Fill their faces.
Fill their faces.
With shame.
With shame.
That they may see.
That they may see.
Thy name.
Thy name.
O power.
O power.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled.
And troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea. Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose
Name alone is Yahweh.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
And the Most High.
And the Most High.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Sir? Men of Israel, let's give warm courtesy salute. I'm Madam Shabbat, I'm Majam, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua B'Chada.
Let them attack. Dismiss.
Please, by the way.